Ted Jones messed with the wrong melon farmers.
Ted Jones, I also call him the eighth wonder of the real estate world.
Ted Jones, who knows? It could be
Ted Jones?
What a weird intro,
The
right?
Ted Jones World Podcast.
It's fresh. Yo, what is up? Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everyone listening and watching from all over the world. I'm joined, as always, by my producer over here to the 45-degree angle, Pat Charmel. What's up, man? How are you?
How are you?
We have a very special guest here today. One of my great friends, hilarious dude, Ricky Velez. To the left, to the right of the camera. Ricky, how are you, man?
I'm good, man. How are you?
You're good? I'm terrific. I'm very happy you
I love
came,
this
bro.
setup. This setup makes me very happy.
Good. It's just like a nice, calm, little
feel
good vibe.
comfortable.
Fireside chat. You got everything you need here on the table. Snacks were brought.
You
everything.
had a full layout.
I'm just trying to make you feel comfortable, man.
You dropped a full $10 at CVS,
Dude,
and I
at
feel
least,
good
bro.
about it.
Well, I had the card. You put in your cell phone. So I did get a good discount.
Nice.
I had a $5 reward. Ricky
Awesome.
already telling the future out here. So what's up, man? The last time I saw you, you were in Miami, bro.
Me and
the
you
last
have
two
spent
times
a
I've
lot
seen you,
of time in
we were in
Miami
Miami.
together. We need to go back.
I know. Anytime you want, bro.
Did I
I
tell
love
you-
Miami for a few days.
I told you I hooked up I told you.
What?
The guys at 11.
What
the guys
about
that own it.
Yeah.
I hooked them up with tickets to shows.
up here, your shows?
No, in Miami when I did Hard Rock with Pete and Mulaney.
Oh, yeah?
And they came through.
And
So
then they
now
were just
we
like, all
got
right, cool.
homies.
Just
We got
roll through.
homies
Whatever.
from
Roll through
11,
at 7
dude.
a.m. Don't even worry about it. 24-hour strip club in Miami. But, dude, that place was crazy. As you know, I had quite a night.
Yes.
I don't do the
you have
stripper
the burger?
thing. I don't do.
I had the burger,
I don't do. Are you talking about at 11? You had a burger?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah, dude. No, I was not available to eat food at any point in that night. I think I found the love of my life for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
I think this one was real. I fell in love with a stripper, man.
Did
A
you?
little T-Pain
Oh, I
action.
wish
Do
I
we
had
have
that.
we have
No,
auto
we
tune?
don't
We don't have auto tune.
don't
We
have
also
love
just
with the
got this
stripper.
new Rodecaster Pro.
Teddy just kept
no
we
shout
got-
out. They're not sponsoring the pod.
Well, yeah, but true. But I mean, this is a cool little device. So that's the only sponsorship we're gonna give out. So Ricky, what's up? What were you about to say, bro?
Oh, that you kept requesting love in the club. At 11.
I wanna make love. Is that one?
Yeah,
That's another
that-
one
that-
like that. Damn, bro.
One of those.
Okay, so you love Miami, obviously, because
Great time.
Yeah, and you love the warm weather. I myself, we're both from New York.
Mm-hmm.
Just getting down there, man. It's just really a great environment. And
What a terrible group of people on a plane.
It's really awful. I mean, because it's mostly kids and people who are. Well, I mean, I don't know. I don't want to say anything that I'll regret, But I mean, the people who are going down there all the time aren't
Are
necessarily
snooty assholes.
right. Aren't
Yeah.
necessarily the greatest people all the time.
It's pretty interesting to me. I find it very funny.
So where do you usually fly out of? You were telling me that Newark is the move.
I like Newark now because I'm on the west side, yeah.
Very true. I'm on the
So,
west side.
yeah.
Ricky and I
So
talked about
you
this
get
a
to
little
Newark
bit. Got
real
a fire down there. Okay, so
During
you grew
the morning, it's the best. If you
right
have to
because
fly
you just
in
fly
the
down
morning.
and then nobody's at the Holland Tunnel. So you take down there. All right, dude. Noted. Next time I'm in Miami, Pat, write that down for us, bro, please. So Ricky, you grew up in Queens.
Queens
So just
Village.
tell me what it was like, going to high school in sort of a semi-suburb for the most part.
Well, that's the weird thing. I didn't go to a regular high school. I went to a performing arts high school.
Right.
but It was
Same.
from kids from all over the city. So that was the first time I ever kicked it with kids from Manhattan. So I only kicked it in Queens up until high school.
Right, and just
then
with kids in your
I
neighborhood
never
or
went
what?
to Brooklyn. I never went to anything like that. And then once my friends were all from all over the city, that's where I got to learn the city.
Right, and
Because
then,
I live last stop on the F train plus a 30-minute bus ride was
what's the last stop there?
Uh,
the F train?
179th Street.
There's some dropping
Hillside
some
Avenue.
NYC subway knowledge on you.
Yeah, so
179.
so it was
Hillside.
it would be an hour and then a half-hour bus to get home every night when I was doing stand-up. When I
The
was
grind.
yeah,
you guys
when I
hear
was
that?
still living at
Hear
home.
that dedication? Very cool.
And then yeah, so I grew up in Queens, and Queens was a weird place to grow up. It's actually the most diverse borough.
Is it?
Facts.
I think
mean,
it's
I
one of
don't
the
know.
most
And then-
diverse places in the country, overall.
Oh, is it really?
I think like Woodside, Queens is like the most diverse.
But at the same time, like,
Yeah.
so like I kind of didn't understand racism for a little bit.
Right. You said you did understand it or didn't?
Didn't get it.
Wait,
It was
what do you
just
mean?
Like, you're
So-
just nice to people. Be
Right.
nice, like,
Dude,
Don't hate 'em for their skin. Hate
That's
'em-
always the motto. Just hate them because they're a dick. Hate anyone who's a
give
dick.
me a bad personality. Like, I don't want to.
So Ricky and I drinking a little bit of tequila over here.
Yes,
Ricky
sir.
took our friend Giulio Gallerati's little method, putting gummy bears in tequila soda. I'm sure it tastes great over there, man. Maybe I'll try that.
Just tastes like tequila.
Well, what about if you put Sour Patch in there? Is that a no-go?
I got Sour Patch in
That'd
here.
be a move. That's
You
probably
did?
yeah. They have stronger sugar on it.
It doesn't taste. It didn't change the taste.
No? Well,
Maybe got to
not-
give it a while.
Not
Gotta
that
give
you
it a
know
little
of.
bit.
Where? And bro, so were you a troublemaker in school or what?
Yes, I was a bad kid always.
Like to the point where
From
has
the
anyone
moment I was a bad
has
kid.
anyone ever said something like super inspirational to you that you remember that's like a chip on your shoulder? Like your math teacher's like, Ricky, what the fuck, bro? This is a 39%. You're never gonna amount to anything.
No, but yes. Like,
Right.
yeah.
But like anything
like,
that stands out in particular, like that somebody said something fucking really mean or just
yes,
very
but
untrue.
he still
He
it's
still
funny.
what?
He still works at the school, and I got to see him recently.
What?
And because I was back at it.
If you're comfortable, tell me what subject, please.
No, I won't because he still works there.
And it'd be pretty easy to narrow him down.
No, but he has like a higher position since I've left.
What?
Yeah.
Well, but so do you.
He was
though.
a teacher.
You know, you
And
were a
now he has,
student,
like,
and now you're an important dude.
It was like 2 years after I graduated, and I ran into him at like a bar, and I'm like 20, and he's whatever age he was.
Where in like near
he
your high
goes-
school?
He lived in my neighborhood,
But
the teacher
okay.
did. And he went to me. He goes, "What are you doing?" I was like, "I'm doing stand up." And he goes, "So how are you making money?" Yeah.
That's fucking mean, man.
And I was like, oh, and at the time I was working because I worked at a comedy club to get on stage at a comedy club.
So wait, I didn't know this.
Yeah,
So,
I worked at a comedy club for 3 years. I took the front tickets. I was
no
the front
way.
desk.
And did you ever go on stage like before?
That was my deal with the club was if I worked the front door, I got to do every show.
Wow.
So for 3 years, I just stayed at one club and only performed there. So
Cool. Yeah, I didn't know that.
I just like made my set and I stayed in one place. And then when I started auditioning, I auditioned for 3 clubs within 1 month and got passed at them all.
So okay, so in terms of like,
So like when I was
Getting-
21, I started hitting.
okay, so like getting into the comedy scene for you, you know, you initially took this ticket, you know, guy gig, usher, or whatever situation, and then from that point forward, like the owner of the club or the manager was like, okay, now that you did all this work, instead of paying you, or maybe they're paying you, you know, not a
Dude,
lot
I
or
painted
whatever.
the ceiling of the comedy club. Like, no
Jesus.
joke. Like, I had done, like, the worst fucking jobs you could have done for this comedy club. And, but at the same time, like, it kept me afloat. Like, anytime. The club was falling apart. So I was always able to go to the boss when I needed money and be like, what do you guys want me to fix? Paint?
Right.
Like, so it was
So
just
you're
like,
like the club contractor, kind of. A little bit.
basically, like, oh, yeah. Like,
That's a great way. Pat,
definitely,
dude, Pat used a big handyman back in his summer job.
I believe
too.
it, big guy.
I used to
That's what I was thinking. He
paint
looks like
speed
a
bumps.
handyman. Yeah, paint speed bumps in the hot summer day when they're orientation college girls walking by.
Yeah, exactly.
But whatever, man. You were probably wearing a tank top, looking good.
Showing it
much.
off.
But
Like,
And
Anyway,
yeah,
yeah.
so like I worked for that club for so long, and now I haven't probably been back in that club in over 6 years.
okay, so it's still open.
Yeah.
Interesting, man. So you're bouncing all over the city, and you have a special coming up within the next couple of months. I'm not sure how much you can actually talk about it, but
I can
can you
say
give us a little background on it, man?
It's,
Because this is very exciting.
It'll be my first special.
Cool.
I've been doing comedy for 10 years.
And can you tell us the network that it's going to be
It
on?
will be on HBO, and it's going to be produced
Home
by Judd
Box
Apatow.
Office.
So yeah.
Judd Apatow.
Yeah.
So the big time producer.
Yeah, we
that
did a movie this summer,
produced a
and we
number
just
of
like
funny hits.
me and him hit it off right away, and we worked together. We wrote together. We're working on another project together right now too. He's just the man. He works a lot harder
So-
than a lot of other people, but he's like
I'm
also
sure.
just the sweetest dude I've ever
Right,
met.
but I mean, just in general, like to put out that much content, like on a consistent basis. I
But
mean,
he
you gotta
doesn't.
work
At the
hard.
same time, he doesn't. Like, he does put out a lot, but at the same time, like, Judd hasn't directed that many movies. Like, when you really think about it.
Well, maybe
So
it's just
like,
the quality of the movies.
yes,
To be honest,
his quality is
Yeah.
insanity.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, we even shot on film this year, which is like not really a thing that gets done often anymore. Everybody shoots on like digital or whatever and video. We shot on film, and we also shot with the guy that shot There Will Be Blood. His name's Bob Ellsworth. The guy's like won Oscars,
Dope.
and then he got to like listen to me scream dick jokes.
So you were just working on this movie with Judd. How did that come to be? Like, where did that come from? Because I know initially when I first like started, when you and I first started really hanging out, when you were on the Larry Wilmore show, the nightly show. And unfortunately, that got canceled. Yeah. But
That was fun,
just
though.
but just from getting airtime, I'm sure like that must have had a lot to do with getting this big role with Judd. Or like,
I
how did you
mean,
even get
yes
this job?
and no.
This job?
Oh, so the movie is Pete Davidson's movie.
Okay.
And I
Pete, shout out Pete, my boy.
And I mean, I still had to like go through auditions and that whole process and get in front of Judd, and then I was also doing stand up in front of Judd. Like, it all like kind of like
Just meshed.
at the same time. Like, I was doing shows with him around the same time. I was doing this, I was doing that, and then like he called me up one day. He was like, "Hey, can you help me?" Like,
I can't remember where I saw, but were you on a podcast or something with him, or you did an interview with him?
Yeah, I did it.
What was
down
that
at-
about?
I did it down at the Comedy Cellar, but they were talking
Okay.
like such politics. I was like, I'm not gonna speak because I don't know anything.
Right.
Like,
Dude,
I
you know
don't
what?
know
At least
anything.
at least you can fucking admit it, bro. You know what I mean?
I'm not gonna sit there and like argue with
100%.
these men. That, like,
Oh no!
And honestly,
the
I'll say that,
taxes, bro. Like what?
but
That's the
like
worst.
Judd is somebody that consumes so much.
Oh.
Like, he consumes like
Right.
podcasts and movies, and he's always watching something and taking things in.
Yeah.
That it's like, if he says like something, like, it's like he knows better than what I'm gonna say. So I was just like letting that. And the other guy was the owner of the Comedy Cellar, and he knows his shit as well. So
Right.
it's just like, this is not the podcast
You know
for
what?
me.
And also,
But
like,
if you
that
guys want
bit-
to talk about pot, I'll be here.
You find me on the Ted Jones World podcast. It's about to spark up a joint over here. So basically, oh my God, we just got this little board over here, Pat. What a noise! That was a good one. So I just wanted to talk to you, a little bit more about the nightly show with Larry Wilmore.
Yeah, man.
Obviously, bro, this is when you and I started fully hanging out. And it was great.
I was
like, it's
26
obviously
years old.
right, and it's always also like good to have a friend
That's
on
not
Comedy
even true.
Central that like if I need to just post back on this little couch,
Yeah.
just watch my boy on TV. Anyway,
I was 24 when I got nightly show.
so when you got that job, what was your mindset?
Well, it was a different time
were
in
you
my
like
life,
were you like
man.
that? This is it, right? Absolutely. So can you
Well,
elaborate
dude,
on that, please?
That show like had a lot of press when it first came out. Like, Larry was gonna be the first black guy in late night. Like, that was huge, and it just didn't hit the way everybody like thought it was gonna hit. And this is what I always say: a lot of people think the format of the Daily Show is amazing, and I think it was Jon Stewart that was amazing. He just cared a lot more than anybody else would have ever cared about that show.
How do you feel about? Sorry, don't mean to interrupt, but how do you feel about like a Bill Maher? The kind of same format.
I honestly don't know anything about him.
Uh-huh.
Like, I
Well, I
don't.
think it's kind of like the same format, but anyway, continue where you were talking about with Larry.
But yeah, and at that time in my life, I mean, yeah, I was 24. I got Variety Top 10 at Montreal Comedy Festival. I was on fire. I was on Master of None. I didn't even audition for that. I just got a phone call.
That's
that
the
was
show
just
with
like,
Aziz
my
Ansari
homie,
on Netflix.
who I got to travel the country, Europe with this year, which was incredible, and the UK. But so like I was just doing great, and life was tight, man. Life was
Right. really
really dope, and then it all kind of age 26 went all downhill.
Right. So when you say that, I don't think that everybody really listening or watching knows kind of what that means. There was a lot going on in your life, just
Yeah,
in general.
my,
I'd say just in
I-
general from that show being canceled, and then a lot of other things that just.
But no, I lost my mom, that
yeah.
show, my basically my family, all in a 3-month span.
What do you mean by basically your family? What do you mean? 'Cause
Well, I
part
mean
of that
more.
show?
No. More that family fell apart to the point that I couldn't rely on certain family members anymore.
Okay.
So it made this
Now was that because
huge
of
hole
your
for me.
was that because of your career or what happened? You think family wise?
Family was. It was just after my mom died, everybody lost their fucking mind for a second.
Mm-hmm.
People didn't know how to cope at all. So it just turned into this really gross, angry energy between a lot of people.
Right. Hung out with your bros.
Great guys.
The last time I saw you in Miami, homies. Both two unbelievable dudes. You wouldn't know that the three brothers are actually the nicest kids I've ever met.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't never expect that. Just three tough looking bros are actually the sweetest
good
dudes
guys.
of all
they
time.
are really good guys.
Yeah,
My older
they're
brother's
homies.
the sweetest guy in the world.
Dude, he's fucking sick. Okay, Tom is fucking sick at art, and you fucking Saint Velez, the DJ, fucking the whole Velez family, getting into the spotlight.
Triple
It's great,
threat.
man. Very cool, bro.
Yeah, it was yeah, Miami's awesome, man.
Miami is a good time, dude.
Dude.
A lot of sketchy stuff goes down there, and it'll take you.
You can feel it.
It'll
It's in
take
the
you.
air,
It'll
dude.
take you 20 minutes to get a Starbucks coffee down there, which is outrageous. Even if you do the mobile order, it's at least a 7 to 9 minute wait. But who has time for the mobile order,
Well, I'll
especially
tell
when
you
you're
right
in Miami,
now,
bro?
the IV doctors show up pretty
Oh
fast.
my God!
Your boy got hooked
okay,
up.
so I come to the hotel. Ricky comes downstairs. They're I don't know. I'm there for a little bit. Ricky's
when I
sitting
had
in the
my limp?
cabana. I don't even know.
I had
It
an
got
ace
worse.
bandage on.
Oh my God, you did.
Yeah.
So Ricky had an ace bandage on his leg. Would you bang it into a?
I was dancing too
chair?
hard, dude.
Okay, so Ricky was dancing too hard in the party bus on the way to 11. So I see Ricky in the cabana by the pool. I show up. I was staying at another place, and Ricky's just got his shades on, hunched over, with a leg ace bandage around his knee from
Dude,
dancing
not
too
my
hard from the
proudest
night before.
moment.
Orders a steak by the pool. Doesn't eat any of it, and then he's like, "Bro, I'm gonna go get an IV." I was like, "Wait, what?" So start fucking telling Julio's "Yo, where's Ricky at?" I was like, "Dude, he was just talking to something about an IV," and everyone was acting too casual for it. I was like, all right,
gotta do what you gotta do, man.
No, but I assume that maybe he had a situation where it wasn't he was gonna go to the hospital.
Situation
and
was
get an
I drank
IV.
all the tequila the night before.
But then you had an app or something where you just got the IV.
Got the
sent to
IV
you.
pulls up.
Do those work well?
Yeah.
They do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're amazing. I'll tell you right now. They're amazing for food poisoning
Oh, really?
and when you booze too much.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding you. There's once I had food poisoning so bad my feet were cramping to the point they were curling
Oh.
in. And
Made you
I
feel-
got one of those things and I was on stage that night.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's legit.
They're
I gotta try it.
incredible.
So I wonder what it is that just makes it so instant.
They
Well, I guess it's just
pump
right.
you
It's
with-
right in the
they
veins.
Pump you with
Just
liquid and
electrolytes
vitamins,
and
dude.
shit. Yeah.
B12, all that shit. You piss green.
You're just that hydrated, not even
Dude, well,
clear.
yeah,
You just
I remember
pee green.
I had surgery once and I woke up and I was nauseous from the anesthesia and they were like, okay, we'll give you an IV. And the second they put the bag up, I felt not nauseous anymore. It was
Dude,
crazy.
isn't anesthesia the best high? in the world? It's really crazy.
It's pretty wild.
Wasn't that what Michael Jackson was taking?
No,
He was just taking
on
straight up?
morphine, I believe.
No, he was
right?
being pumped with something. You can just
thought it
take
was
morphine.
Oh, was it
No,
not?
he,
But you can
because
inject
that
morphine
doctor
too, right?
went to jail for it.
Yeah, I don't know.
I
No,
think he was
taking other
putting
stuff.
straight up
Was it? You think?
Yeah.
I don't remember, but yeah,
the
it might have been.
smell of that stuff is really crazy. There's this weird sweet smell to it.
Really?
Yeah.
How did you smell it?
Dude, right before I knock out, I try to stay up as much as possible, get the good stuff.
Yeah, you also have late shows, so makes sense. Okay, so morphine overdose.
Michael?
Yeah.
That's what I'm seeing here
All right.
on this little computer. So Ricky, as of right now, bro, your career couldn't be at a better place. What are you?
No, it's fun. It's definitely fun right now.
So what are you looking forward to the most? Besides your comedy special dropping and you doing this movie with Pete. You've been touring with Pete for the most part, right?
Well, I mean, I've known Pete since he was, I think, 17 and I was 20. No, I was 21.
So like 8 years, 9 years,
me
right?
and him known each other 8-9 years. So I mean, our goal is to continue to make stuff with our friends and have as much fun as possible. And
Yeah.
like, I mean, see how long we can burn this to the ground for.
100%. Well said.
Like, I mean, it's this summer was crazy to sit there and get to create and make things with my friends and on a Universal movie. It was cool.
Very cool, man.
And the cast was
good to hear
awesome.
about. Yeah. So who else was in that? Who else was in that movie? Any like
Did they?
supernova?
I
What
think
was-
they might have released it.
Yeah.
all.
Let's
me make
let's check
sure
that out
just
before we blow up the spot. We're sorry, Chad. Not saying anything inappropriate here, except for we haven't cursed that much this episode, Pat. Have we?
You're doing well, Ted Jones.
Pat just sitting over there with that gorgeous new board. It's lit up. It's great. Pat and I actually went to what's that store called, man? I guess we'll shout them out.
Shout out B&H.
Shout out B&H hooking us up with this brand spanking new camera and this board over here. All right, Ricky, you're
B&H,
making
dude,
you're
those
making that
guys
look
are-
good, man.
All right,
I'm
they did
hitting-
post it.
I'm hitting
they
the
did
pot
post
over
it,
here.
man.
They did. They just
There he is.
they just posted
Ted
they
the
posted
Smoke
thing.
Jones.
Do you have the lighter over there?
No,
No, I have.
I
I'm
got
good.
it.
So okay, wait. So you have the. When did this come out?
It's on IMDb. I don't know.
Okay, so please, can you tell us the project name, date, and then give us some some
it's
cast members.
Well, the ones that were just like really cool, and she came down to the cellar and hung with me the other night and watched some shows. Marissa Tomei.
Bro, she went to school where I went to school, Friends
Really?
Seminary.
She's
out
she's
Friends
so
Seminary.
cool.
Right.
She's so cool. Awesome to work with. Bill Burr that was the first time
okay.
I ever
He was in
got
the
to
movie with him?
dude. That was the first time I got to like work with him ever. Like I never even met him at comedy clubs. or
Well,
anything.
he does a lot of stuff in LA though, right?
He lives in LA. So like
okay.
when there was a time Bill just ran around this city and everybody knew him, but like I wasn't passed at the clubs that he was working at that time. So he like left and moved to LA, and then I had to I didn't meet him again until I did a movie with him.
So
And it
just
was-
question before you rattle that off. What do you think? Like, would you think that it'd be easier for? I'm sure we have like a lot of young comedians trying to get their leg up in the game. Would you suggest that like when everybody freaking tells them to move to LA, it's like a legit thing to say to do stand up? You know, maybe
do
it's
not
better
move
for
to
acting.
LA
Okay.
for stand up ever.
But what about acting and like stand up? I mean, if you're trying to do
I
both.
wouldn't move to LA without a project, especially if I was planning to be a stand up full time. Like if you're, it's like I lived out there for 8 months, and at the time I moved out there, I was like 22. It was right when I started like moving and making moves, and in New York, like people started messing with me and being like, "Oh, this kid's funny," and then I went to LA, and you start
you had
over.
you had connects there,
You
maybe.
start, yeah, and I knew people, but you really start over.
Right.
And then on top of it, it's like you start over, and the crowds aren't as good. There's not as many shows, so it was like
And you're also probably traveling from
I did
freaking
7 shows at the same comedy
West
club last
Hollywood
weekend.
to Santa Monica.
I did 7 shows at the same comedy club last week.
Where
in
you
the
talking
same
about?
night, at
Where
the
you talking
Comedy
about?
Cellar.
Oh, right. Was that New Year's?
7 shows the night before. The night
My
before,
man.
you can do 7 shows.
Are you drinking during that? Like, how much are you drinking? I know, occasionally you'll have a brew
But
on stage,
dude, on
but like,
the real, I've been kind of off the booze, you know.
in how many of the last sets? Because maybe the people who are listening, they're like, all right, yeah, Ricky's got
I probably
a lot
smoke
of jokes.
before I drink to go on stage.
A lot
With
of jokes
drinking, you can
involving
lose
alcohol.
words. You lose words, and you just slow down on weed.
Dude,
you
you know
lose
what?
words with alcohol.
For sure, I think I'll agree with you with that. Like, I really don't like drinking anymore. I mean, it's a poison, bro.
As
For the
we
most part,
both
as
do
we're
it.
both as we're both downing tequila. Actually, Pat's got some tequila over there too. As we're all
Dude,
three
that was
drinking
like
tequila,
the first
fucking
sign
hate
of
booze,
being an
dude.
alcoholic, dude.
Literally.
I hate this
Dude,
shit,
I don't even
dog.
like this, bro. It's just poison, man.
Cut me off.
Not even anything good. This is great, man. So Ricky, you got to plug some stuff for us, man. I've asked you a few questions. What do you got for us, man, that you want to tell us that you're working on besides these this special coming up on HBO? You got a movie coming out with Pete Davidson and Judd Apatow in the summer. A lot of exciting shit going on, bro. You got anything else that you gotta just tell us? Let us know.
I'm a dad now. That's always
You
fun.
are
I love being a dad. It's
father,
like my favorite
a beautiful
thing in the world.
child. Oh my god, dude.
Dude.
That is great. That
Too
is really
much.
great.
And now he's even speaking more than ever.
He's
It's
speaking?
so much. It's so
Oh
much.
my gosh.
The other day.
Dada and stuff.
Oh, all day. That was
Oh.
his first word.
Oh, right.
But
and mama shortly after.
Yeah. But the other day, my wife was like, "Hey, Leo, we're gonna go see your friend Layla." And then he went, "Layla."
Oof.
And I was like,
That's a nice name.
My boy has friends, dog. Like, that's crazy.
Now, is he hanging out with your wife's friend at the same time, or like? how
No,
does he
dude,
have
it's
friends?
hard for us to make friends with these people.
Wow.
Not saying I've tried too much, but like I'm not a lot like I'm not like the other parents.
What do you mean?
Like
what do you mean?
these people are not like me at all. Like
Why
they
are
don't-
they like in finance?
like,
Something like
yeah,
that?
dude, and like
Figured
they
it out.
like
Advertisements.
they
Yeah.
just like they're good people and like,
Dude, what? You're not
No,
a good
I'm
person?
not saying I'm a bad person. I'm just saying
just
that like
clean.
they're just
this is
like
what you're supposed to do.
like dude, yo,
They're like, why are you home at Tuesday at 4 p.m.?
yeah,
Ricky?
bro, like have no
my
clue.
God.
It's like he just
So
stays
funny.
home and lights incense all day. It's like, dude, like it's so. But then, like at the same time, like we get to do so much. I just like it's so weird. I'm at the park. My kid has a bubble gun. It shoots bubbles. And this guy comes up to me and he's like,
Who? Wait. Who? Just
sir.
a random guy at the park?
"Yeah, has a kid there.
He's
His
getting
kid-
triggered.
His kid's over here playing with my kid's bubbles." And he goes, "Sir, can you please not call it a gun?"
No way.
I was like, "Bro," I was like, "Why?" I was like, and he goes, "It's just there's children." I was like, "Yeah, but they exist.
That's insane.
Yeah, they do.
They exist."
Yeah, they do. These kids, you know what? These kids better become familiar with guns right
Bubble-
now.
And by the
All
way,
right?
like,
Yeah, what?
I have friends that have real guns.
I don't
What does
doubt
not
you, bro.
saying
As of
it
right now, I
accomplish?
don't know anyone who has a gun.
Yeah,
but
you do,
I might, but not that like I know of. That like shows it off, like
is
strapped
no?
up.
What is
I
not
have
saying
boys-
it
I have
accomplish?
boys- You know what? No, I have boys that are strapped.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I do. I just
you're
it's
from
just good. They keep
Gramercy.
it, bro. So they keep it in their waist. So who am I to know?
Dude,
Um,
it's like so like when it comes to like stuff like that, it's like you think that's
That's
gonna
the issue.
yeah, or that's gonna change whatever. But it's just it is what it is, and like it's just I just can't wait to see which special keeps my kid out of a private school.
Oh, you know what? I think you're gonna be good. You're clean. But
Well, my
dude-
wife is Jewish, and he's gonna have a Puerto Rican last name, so he's gonna get in everywhere.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
That's true. Harvard too,
You're good.
bro. Oh my
Dude,
god.
everywhere.
Yeah, you don't have anything to worry about.
Yeah, I think
You're
I
good.
think you're fine, bro. You sound pretty squeaky clean there.
We'll see.
Yeah.
I can
We'll
still
see.
fuck this up, dude. I have 18 years not to ruin his.
No, you'll be good, man. Don't worry about it. Okay, Ricky Velez, thank you so much for joining us again, man. This has
Dude,
been nothing but a fun
I
time.
haven't
I
been
always
to your
love hanging
place in
out
a
with you,
while.
bro. Yeah, you haven't been here in a while,
I know.
man.
I felt like
The fuck,
I know,
dude?
dog.
You were in my place. You were in Miami. We were hanging out
Yes.
fully, and then I haven't seen you in a
Which
little
is
bit.
kind of like this
But-
apartment just in Miami. It's awesome.
You're right, but it has
It's really
but
dope.
but it
You
has
kinda
fresh
have just-
windows. Like it has a terrace. Like
It's lit.
It's a little bit
Both
more.
sides
it's a little
are
bit more
lit,
lit. Keeping it lit on both ends. So
Yo, this kid is
Bro.
everywhere on the East Coast.
So, dude, we have this fun little segment that Pat and I do, and we usually call it
Don't do that.
nice. That sounded good. That was like an aggressive me over there on the board. Pat, can we do it one more time? Just so like I feel comfortable.
don't do that.
All right, pretty on point. So, Ricky, this is something where like if you see anything on the street, you see something in the subway, you just see something walking around, and you're like, all right, man, this is like a social norm. This is something that you don't do. Something that like if you're in the office with other people around, you don't take personal calls, especially, something loud. You don't FaceTime.
I'm surprised
You
you're
just-
allowed to do that.
I mean, you're not, but when somebody, in the office is not, the senior person, like, what are you supposed to do? You know what I mean? Okay, so
Nope.
let's say, just before I guess we get to this segment,
Nope.
I want to talk about, so if somebody had, let's say 3 coworkers with them in the office, and then the boss at that point isn't in for that day. Granted, it's like up to all the 3 workers, but they're all equal. So if one person's doing something, like what's realistically going to happen? You just tell that person to stop doing that, or like, oh, I'll tell the boss if you do
Take a
that.
shit on their desk.
It could be the move.
Yeah.
Anyways, so this is the part of the show where we do the segment, Don't Do That.
Don't do that.
Jeez, did we do that enough times? Pat, literally, don't
Oh, you want me
do
to do it one
that
more time?
again. Yeah,
Okay.
one more time for us.
No, it's okay.
Okay, so Ricky, I want you to give
you
your
don't go
first
first?
one first. You're
Yeah,
the
okay,
first
okay,
one
I'll go
first.
I hate more than anything when waitresses, and I say waitresses because only females can do this, is when they take their money and put it on their titties. They hold.
Wait.
seen
Like,
them?
not even in their
Dude,
pouch?
I've never seen that.
Dude, I've seen it so many
At like
times.
a diner? Where?
Dude, it just like bowling alleys. Like it's always like in
my
like
God,
the treasure,
definitely.
like a baseball field where there's a concession stand. They just pull the fucking money out of their titties and give you your change.
concession, yeah,
It's
yeah.
insane. That's nuts. I can't.
I've only seen that in movies.
Dude,
I don't think I've ever
I've
seen that in
100
person.
I've 100% seen comedy club waitresses do it
Oh
all
my
the
God.
time.
Yeah, first of all, that money is very dirty.
And
And why are you putting it on your boobs?
dude, I'm stopping it. You know how I'm stopping it?
How?
I ask for change and then smell the money.
Oh, see if it
just-
smells like boobs.
You just make
All right,
them.
okay.
You make
Give me some.
them.
All right,
You
dude,
make them
smell
as
like any,
uncomfortable as they can be.
Boob sweat over there. All right, well that's cause he's joking. We never do that. We respect women over here on this podcast, of course. Ricky, so this has been great, bro. 35 minutes in the mix. I can't stop talking about how great this is, bro.
Oh, I thought you were cutting it off because you thought I offended women.
No, yeah, I was.
I don't
like,
think
oh,
I
yeah,
think that's
we're
I don't
cutting
think
it.
that's offensive. I
How-
would say that on a stage in front of people. That is insane.
This
No,
is
it's not
also no. One, it's not offensive. Two, you're a comedian. Three,
Can I put
it's not
my
offensive.
can I
was
put
just gonna
money on
say.
my balls and take it out every time you need
I was just
fucking
gonna say
change?
that. That would be just as bad.
Oh my God. Although I wouldn't mind. Dude, it's Ricky Velez's ball sweat. All right, jeez.
Are you going
Not
next?
that far.
Are you?
What?
Do you have another? Don't do that.
Yeah, I mean, I have another do that. Dude, I have a number of don't do that's, bro.
You got them saved up.
Okay, so for the most part, this is I guess gonna sound not too awkward, but I guess a little bit awkward. So I had been like seeing someone for a few days, and the relationship, I guess, as of now, or yeah, within like the last, I guess, 24 hours, like fizzled out.
Is she a fan? Is she gonna hear this?
You know what? Honestly, I just feel like it's very unspecific, and this has happened. This has either happened within the last 12 months or the last 24 months. You know, so like when I speak about like the last couple of days, or I wasn't even. Did I even say the last couple of days before
Yeah,
that?
you made it sound
Yeah.
like it happened hours
we might
ago.
we might have to cut this part. But we went to this after party, like went to this cool fun party, and then we went to this after party which happened to be at this kid's house that I'm friendly with. So we get there, like, and she's a little bit acting a fool, like drank a little bit too much, and you can just kind of tell. And when somebody drinks too much and they can't hold their alcohol in terms of like what they say and like their filter level, like that's a red flag a little bit. So just an insanely crazy moment. It was like
That's a lot of anxiety on you, huh?
it was like 3S, bro. It was like 3:30 a.m. and we're talking to this dude in the kitchen who is the boyfriend of the girl whose house it is. And I'm with myself and the girl that I'm with, and she just out of the blue just goes, "You're so unattractive," to the guy who's standing there in the kitchen with us. Verbatim said that. I was like, no. Come, she's joking,
Like,
blah,
I
blah.
mean,
And then he said, oh,
That's
I'm
not
joking,
a good
blah,
person.
blah, blah,
You shouldn't
blah.
date that person, dude. That's crazy. That's
Was she
the
joking though?
Yeah, she said she was joking, which
that's
it sounded like a jokey.
unbelievably rude.
That's what I thought.
And you know what? I've seen girls do something like that, and like I feel like I know the group of people you were with, the type, and it's always them to do that shit too.
He's like, yeah, well,
It's fucking shitty, dude.
It for sure was.
Also, you know what?
It's such a shit move.
This came from a situation where this particular person slid into my DM, and then I made it a point to respond a couple days later
Okay.
and like a couple of her pictures. But
All right.
but regardless, that shouldn't have happened. Regardless,
You're
I've been cringing since this happened. No joke, I've been
Dude,
cringing.
she's no good.
But dude, I feel
She
like
puts
that was
money on her titties.
I feel like that was also my way out.
Yeah,
Which is fine. You know, and I get nervous now if I hook up with a girl for too long, aka like more than 2 days. I'm like, what's my out?
That's why I love having a wife, dude. I'd
Right.
never have to worry about what
Right.
she's talking
You're
about.
just like, should we have
she's
another
out there
kid? Should we
protecting
not?
She's
Blah,
out there
blah, blah.
protecting the business.
Yeah.
You have to see some of the
Literally.
conversation. I see her covering for me better than I cover for me. I never walk like that's so funny because I always wake up after like boozing and partying. I always wake up just being like, "What did I say? What did I
on stage or just with people in
Both.
general?" Right.
Both. Actually, on stage, I don't get too wasted on stage. Now, have I been? Yes, but for the most part, like I try to keep it kind of clear up there.
Right. And just like, I mean, dude, you also have so many freaking jokes to remember. No?
Yeah,
I mean, they obviously
There are a
flow at the same time.
Yeah.
But like when you're doing an hour at Miami Improv, which I was at, like you got to be up there, like remembering shit. You
when
know
I
what I mean?
sent in the recording of that, everybody was very, very happy.
Yeah, dude, it was fresh. So
Yeah.
when Ricky went to Miami Improv, what night was that exactly? I know you did 2
That
nights.
was a Saturday, I think.
Saturday.
When me
I
and you
can't
kicked it was
remember.
Saturday. Yeah.
So about like 2 weeks ago, Saturday. But Ricky killed Miami Improv. Was a great show and fun time. A lot of people there.
How often are you like
very cool.
cycling sets, or is it like do they
Well,
change?
I mean, that hour is the full set.
right,
now.
right.
So, I mean, when I'm in New York City and I'm doing 15 minutes at a time.
Yeah, it's just pieces of that. Or you
Yeah,
switch
but
it
at
up.
the same time, like right now I'm working on a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Like there's just like so much like new stuff that came in that like during the weeks I'm not saying it's B material because it's hitting like A,
Right,
but
right.
it's just not perfected material yet.
Mhm.
And on the weekends I'm only going for home runs.
Yeah.
You know, like you throw the grenades on the weekends.
Mhm.
Those are the big crowds.
And then you're tuning during the week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, just moving stuff around and figuring it
Pat,
out.
tuning? Is he even tuning up? Like, just getting everything sharp?
Yeah.
That's fresh, Pat. Nice little.
I mean, it
what's
sounds like
that?
he
Is that
even
an
Drop a
adjective?
bomb
he
from
dan-
me.
That is a verb, tuning. That is a verb.
We didn't pass
Very
Pat
nice.
no weed, man.
Yeah, I know. I don't know, Pat. I don't think you're a
Are you
pot
a
guy.
smoker?
Are you a pot guy? He
Only
is a
when I'm
little
around
bit.
Teddy.
He is a little bit nice, bro. Nice.
This is the most I've ever seen Pat talk.
Yeah. What do you mean?
He never talks when we hang.
Pat
I'm
is
not-
fucking full talking over there.
Yeah.
When he feels comfortable.
And I'm
when
not
Pat,
even talking that much right now.
Yeah, but also
I'm
when
on
Pat,
his podcast, dude.
when-
We're on his ground right
yeah,
now.
dude. When Pat just gets comfy, man, watch out. He'll steal
Okay.
girl. That's why I don't bring him out with me. Jesus, this guy.
Love
over
in the
here.
club over here.
So
That's your new nickname, dude. Love in the club.
Ted Jones, we're Love in the Club. Thank you guys for freaking watching this ish on YouTube. Maybe are you watching? We're doing cool stuff over here,
Dude.
I guarantee that. But if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, that's cool too. If you guys want to get any questions into Ricky, I'll answer them next week. I do have his phone number, which is fresh. Well, I mean, we're not doing a live podcast right now. Otherwise, I'd be like, yo, let's fire in these questions. Yo, Ricky, how many pairs of shoes do you have, dude? I was like, all right,
No.
okay, we'll figure that out. Some
How many
insane
pairs of
question
shoes
like
do you
that.
have?
But text us, don't text us. Email us at tedjonesworld@gmail.com, Ted Jones World on Instagram. And this guy over here to my left, you're right on the YouTube camera, at Ricky Velez. Got a very clean IG, bro. Is it all black and white? Can we pull up this IG?
I just blessed it with a red.
Can we put
dog.
IG? We're going to pull up your IG, bro.
It's
Start talking a little bit about that IG. Let's see what you got flowing, bro.
it works. I don't like using it how other people use it though.
How do other people use it? What do you
A
mean?
lot.
You mean like bikini shots? Oh, you mean a lot?
Yeah.
Like in terms of like on it, like putting pictures, blah, blah, blah. Oh, you did bless it with a red one.
Yeah.
Holding out that little drink. Beautiful, man. You see this profile,
And
Pat?
I wrote to world peace.
Look at that. Look at that. Get a
Oh, I
look.
like that. I like the little breakup with the red.
You like that?
Let's tell you.
I just do the red every like once a year,
Yeah.
twice a year.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, it's fresh.
But the red started, but people like that. People are like, "What a douchey picture."
right, yeah. Dude,
Standing
the
next to a
red in front of
private
the
jet.
PJ.
No joke, that was taken on film, and the red is from where the plane was flashing. And I was
It's
like,
not your
I was
hoodie
like,
looks pink here on May 17th,
wild.
2019.
it was wild. So it was just like, I got it on film, and like once you capture something like that, you're like, that's the sickest photo you've ever seen.
Yeah,
in
you
your
gotta
life.
throw it out.
I was like, I'm throwing that out. And people told me that was like the dopest SoundCloud rapper picture of all time.
Literally already made it.
Yeah, it was not.
Fresh.
Dude, the New York Yankee lighter. That's like my dad would have that and be serious about it. Yo, who took my lighter, bro?
Oh my God.
Stop calling me bro. I'm your son.
You guys were big Yankees fans or what? I was.
What?
Too.
Yeah.
I was too. I had a Mets period because
Can
my
that be the
dad started to
commercial? I
like
like
the
that.
Yankees. What? The
That joke.
commercial? This is the commercial for Ted Jones World.
I was laughing. I was laughing earlier because like I remember when you used to just come to podcasts and not like give a fuck. I just wear sweatpants, but now everyone is taped.
Right.
So it's like I have to get
you
ready.
Look good, bro. Thank you for dressing up. We obviously
This is
always
dressed
dress up
up,
over here.
dude.
Dude, look, your boy's got Bieber on his
Fresh
shirt.
Bieber.
Dude,
You know?
what a
he
guy.
looks good.
What a guy.
So, whatever. Pat, do you like that? You don't like that new song that came
No,
out?
I don't like it.
Justin, you're fresh, but apparently we don't
You
like
know,
this
I met
new
him,
song. I
right?
haven't heard this one. No, when? I peed next to him. That's Delilah. It was fresh. He was like, yo, bro, it's fresh.
Is that what he said? to you?
Verbatim said like, yeah, bro.
What did you
He
say
didn't
to him?
fresh. All right. So we met we met at the door. This is at Delilah. Full real
Dude.
story. I'll tell you.
Classic. Going to
Like
the-
You
four
said what up to Bieber
years-
at a fucking
4
urinal?
years ago. 4 years
never heard this
ago,
story.
I was walking.
Neither have I.
I was walking into the bathroom. Well, oh my God! All right, I saw Fresh Biebs walk into the bathroom, and I was like, all right, well, I have to pee anyway, so I guess I'll just go with him. So, I peed
This is
Biebs.
insane.
No, I peed next to Biebs in the urinal, but it wasn't a big thing. Like obviously, like, you're gonna have to pee next to Bieber, you know. So we walk out together. He's like, yeah, "We killing tonight, bro," and I was like, "Yeah, dude." But like I had felt that I had said it in a way that was like super acceptable, like not being like, yo, I just came into this bathroom right now, Biebs, to like pee next to you.
And now he's on your shirt. So
And now he's on my shirt. No,
The only
yeah.
person that's ever made me almost go into a bathroom to pee next to him is David Beckham.
Bro, I'd pee next to him too.
What
I
was
would've been
that?
the same
What was
shit.
that restaurant
Beckham
that was
and
closed
Justin
downtown
Bieber.
and they just reopened it in the meatpacking?
Like not
Batiste
the,
or some shit.
Pastis that was open a while ago. And then
While
they just
ago.
closed, but
They
now
just
it's
reopened it.
Restoration Hardware.
Oh, did they?
Oh,
Well,
that's what it is now?
that same location is now
well,
Restoration
supposedly
Hardware.
they opened that restaurant again.
Pastis.
It's reopened.
Okay,
somewhere
I don't know.
else.
I don't know.
My wife was just at it.
Okay.
But I was there and I must have been like 24, 23 and fucking Beckham.
Me too. This was exactly the
sitting
same time.
right behind me. And like everybody at my table was like, yo, dude, Victoria Beckham. And I was like,
She was sitting with
Posh
him.
Spice,
I was
No,
like,
fuck
I
that.
was like, fuck that bitch. Look at David Beckham right there.
Seriously.
Signed at the age of 13 to Manchester United. Like,
It's been a legend
that's
for years.
the fucking legend. Like, what? Like, that's Jordan of soccer. Not really. I'll get destroyed for saying that. That's fucking wild. That's
He's
not
like-
true.
he's like-
but he
Well,
had the
it's
commercial.
Ronaldo,
He had the
apparently.
commercial. He had the
Yeah.
commercial of
The
Jordan.
face for a
He had
while,
the commercial of Jordan. That's what I'll
Oh,
say.
right.
And
okay.
Manchester United during his time, I think, was higher sales in jerseys than fucking
Yeah.
the Yankees.
he was like the
So, I
first
mean,
very profitable
yeah.
seller.
It was like
yeah.
maybe Beckham, then Jeter, in terms of like if you're talking Yankees.
Yeah.
no?
Is it- No, but like, I mean, I think it was Manchester United, then Yankees had like the most sold shit. And I was just like, but actually one of Julie's uncles got up and went to the bathroom at the same time as him. It was really funny. But my Beeb
I was
story,
gonna
dude,
say, what's the Bieber story?
he jumped
Oh,
out.
you have a Bieb story?
Yeah, dog.
All right, go.
So Pete was doing the roast.
Yeah.
And it was my first
Comedy Central roast. Right.
It was my first week at the nightly show. So they sent me out there to do press and like go to the red carpet and go see the show, and they fucking threw cameras on us and the rest of that. But I show up with Pete because Pete's like, yo, roll with me. I was like, fuck it, why not?
Yeah.
Roll out with Pete. We get there and we get out of Pete's car, and Justin Bieber jumps out of a bush.
What?
Swear, just jumps out from like behind a bush with like full camera crew. So understand, me and Peter like hungover, and now Justin Bieber just jumped out of a bush.
Wait. Time
Before
out.
his roast?
Time out. Why was Biebs
Was he
in a
ghillie
bush
suit?
looking for
Fresh
Ricky
Call
and
of
Pete?
Duty?
What?
It was set up. The minute we got on the lot, all we heard were like, "Are they pulling up? Okay, they're pulling up." Da, 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 da. Like, so they were just getting ready for us to pull up because Bieber was gonna greet Pete, and so like we're pulling our suits out of the trunk, and he jumps out of a fucking bush, and we're like,
Holy
"What?"
shit.
And he has a full camera crew
That's
behind him.
terrifying. What was
was
that,
the
like an
fucking-
episode of like Punk'd?
Dude, we were
What
like,
did it
we were
say?
totally like
Where's the actual
thrown.
picture?
Like, I wish they never ever showed that footage, but I wish to have it. Like, I should contact somebody to get it. It's
Yeah,
probably
what?
very funny.
Yeah.
And we're just like, and he dapped us both all up and he ran away.
You know, honestly, he also seems like a funny kid. Just the jokes that he was doing that night too, he murdered. You know what?
I don't know if he's,
I thought
I
he
don't
did
know
a
if he's
great
funny,
job.
but I
Well,
I
he
think
didn't
he's
write his
fun.
own jokes.
I think he's
you
a
know
good
what?
sport.
But the jokes that he was like
Is that
doing,
right, bro?
Exciting.
Give me that
The-
Yankee. Give me my Yankee
the
fucking
jokes
lighter.
that he was doing,
I'll
dude,
fucking
were
kill
good.
you.
He was like, "What do you get when you give an what was it? A 17-year-old $200 million, a bunch of has-beens in a room like making fun of him, dude? That's funny. but at the same
absolutely.
time,
I mean, yeah,
at the
he's-
same time, his
he's an
delivery is good. He
entertainer,
had a
so-
nice slick hair back, dude.
So
that
he
blue
daps us
suit.
back. He daps us up.
Uh-huh.
And
Off
yeah.
camera, or was this like in the
Bro.
thing too?
So me and Peter are just like, what the fuck just happened? And we start walking, and we now pass his trailer, and he's in a completely different outfit. Like, dude, no joke, he's in
From 5 minutes earlier.
bro,
Fresh
Faster?
wardrobe change.
bro, and he went from like a Versace blue suit to in a different outfit completely. And then we were just like, all right, yeah, as we passed this trailer. And then he came to the trailer where we were all kicking it. And he had another outfit. He had three outfits
Three
on
outfits in the
in
span of,
like,
like,
20
20
20 minutes.
What
It
is
was
going on,
wild.
bro? Jumping out of bushes,
Three
three
beaters,
outfits
dude.
within an hour. I mean, he has a full.
Dude,
I mean, he has a stylist
never-
bringing in a whole nother truck behind
When I
him.
look back on it, I laugh so hard every single time. It's one of the fucking...
Jeez, what a Bieber story.
Bro, I'm the only one without a Bieber story. What? That sucks.
Yeah, dude, you have to figure that out. Shoot him a
know,
DM. Jay Biebs, what's good, bro? Ted Jones world over here.
Dude, hit him up
Ricky
about
freaking
God. He loves that
Velez.
shit.
About what?
God.
Bro, you know what? I
God, and he's released a song called
I love
Yummy
God
Yummy,
here
dude.
too. I think we love God here too on this podcast.
God is
God
great.
is fresh.
God
God
is
is great.
God's
Dude, I
laughs,
can
dude.
see you being one of those preachers.
What do you mean?
Those youth, like,
Well,
yeah,
I'm Jewish,
evangelist
so like
preachers.
not like, but yeah, you,
You know I was a
think on
Sunday school
spiritual
teacher?
level. What?
You know, I was a Sunday school teacher
No.
for years.
Amen.
What do you
dude.
mean years?
Probably for 13, 14. No, you get confirmation at
Yeah.
12.
12,
So
yeah.
from 13 to probably 17 years old. I taught Sunday school.
To who? Like what age kids?
3-year-olds. They would just come in and like
Okay.
paint Jesus, and their parents went to church.
You
but
like good?
I
That
was
looks
still
like a
kicking
cross.
it. Yeah, my
Good.
mom. I
That's
needed
a triangle, Timmy.
I needed community service, and my mom worked at the church.
Why'd you need
On
community
Sundays.
service for school?
Yeah.
Yo, I never had to do community service, which was fresh, which was insane. I don't know how I got away with that. I was busy playing tennis. Can you pull up a picture of you? No. You know, I saw a picture of you. What was it? In what was it? High school?
That was my high school. Yeah,
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. Me and my
What do you mean?
girl.
You weren't ugly? Or what age are you
I
talking
love
about?
her.
that you were
She was
ugly?
at the wedding.
What were you, 14 in that picture maybe?
Probably like 15. Yeah.
And that was
14.
that high school that you went to.
Yeah.
Performing arts.
And we used to share floors with DeVry.
DeVry, shout out DeVry, you.
The online university. What do
Well-
you mean? So somebody would just take 50 computers and just like online work
No,
it
because
out?
the school wasn't finished yet, the one that's in Astoria. So we were in Long Island City in a building that was also shared with DeVry College, and kids from DeVry College like hit on our girls and like started
What?
fights like grown ass men.
Go Tigers.
I feel like this episode, man, I've just been acting shocked a lot. Like, wait, what? Time out. Okay, so you had split
My high
just
school was
schools, right?
split.
Did you have the same cafeteria as the DeVry
No,
students?
but when we went at one point, we only had one hallway. My whole school was one hallway. It's a public school in New York City, and we did share a lunchroom with LaGuardia College, which is not the greatest school either.
How's the bathroom situation, if you don't mind me asking?
What do you mean?
I mean, like, I can only really go to the bathroom at my apartment. Like, dude, even like anywhere I can never go. I need to just be in my apartment. But like, how many bathrooms were there for you guys to share with these LaGuardia people? Was that like a normal amount?
No, we had. I mean, dude, there was like 75 kids per grade at that point.
And it was what, 9th through 12th, or how many?
9th through 12th, but
and then plus the people who were also like occupying the space, whatever it was, DeVry or LaGuardia.
No, they were like floors underneath us. They weren't allowed. DeVry wasn't allowed on our floor, but we shared a lunchroom with LaGuardia.
And
College.
that was nuts.
I mean, it was pretty wild. Like,
give us a story about something that. Did you guys have any food fights? Because that's definitely where the picture was.
Just adults dating fucking high school students.
Imagine
that still happens.
Dude, some DeVry U grad stole my girl.
What?
Dude,
just kidding.
That'd
be
wild, man. No, but yeah, we scrapped with some DeVry kids. DeVry college kids can fight.
I was gonna say,
how old
did they
are
get
they?
down or what?
Well, yeah, bro.
Wait.
Bro. They saw that.
So
they
these
were
DeVry
watching
kids got street
Springer when
cred.
they decided to go to college.
Oh, right, because of the commercials. Like,
Oh,
damn.
yeah, I didn't get that. At
That
first.
was a good drop. Nice, Ricky. That was fresh. All right, Ricky. So this is a kind of a weird question, I guess. Have you ever gotten like, I don't know if I want to say accosted, but like overwhelmed by somebody who like really likes your
Like a
comedy?
fan.
Yeah.
There was a guy that used to take care of a few of your friends, man.
What do you mean?
This guy used to come to comedy shows,
Yeah.
and just give us $100 bills.
Like a guy who was like the owner of the club used to like.
No.
What do you mean? What are you talking about?
He was
employer?
he was like a Howard Stern super fan.
So
I
wait,
can't
why?
tell
So
this
why was he?
story.
No,
I can't tell the story. It's fucking wild,
bro.
dude.
So why is he at your shows? What do you mean he's a
So he
Howard
would,
Stern
like,
super
this guy
fan? What do
used
you
to
mean?
just come to shows, and he was obsessed with very young comics, and he got very obsessed with me, Pete, and Julio.
Julio Gallerati, Pete Davidson, and you.
Well,
When
the
you
best
guys,
part,
what do you mean young?
The best
this
part
like
was he
a few
actually
years
got
ago?
physical with G.
Wait. What do you mean
wait, yeah,
physical?
explain.
Clear that out. Clear that out.
Once we were at Fat Baby and
Lower East Side,
Uncle,
R.I.P. Fat Baby.
Uncle, let's give him a different name. Uncle Steve, dude.
Uncle Rico.
Okay.
Uncle Rico. Okay, so Uncle Rico comes through, and he used to just come by to all of our comedy shows and give us money, but he would also
Wait. This guy just showed up. What was he? in finance? What do you mean? This guy would
Dude,
show
was
up
he
with
like-
$100
yeah, was he rich?
bills
He
and just
owned
like
a bar. He owned a bar. That's another thing. You got to remember, like, Pete was like 18. I was like 22. Like, so like it was just like,
and Julio was
and
I guess
Julio
the same
was,
age as almost as you, whatever,
yeah,
24.
a little bit
23.
older.
Yeah.
And fucking next thing you know, fucking this dude is just coming by and giving us $100 bills. But he would always do some weird shit too. He'd always be like, and maybe one day I'll give you a blowjob. And then we'd be like, no, Uncle Rico, you're not giving me a blowjob.
Wait. So this guy would just come, give you.
He would not come. We would not.
All right.
Call him by his name, Uncle Rico.
All right, Uncle Reeks. All right, so this guy would just come to your show and just start handing out hundies. Pat, where were we, bro?
And
I
yo,
don't know.
you gotta
I wish I
remember,
was there.
like this is before anything. Like, this is when spots paid $20.
Yeah. So you just made like 5 spots and just on the spot from this like random.
Yo,
uncle.
and like me and Pete talk about this story on stage. That's the only reason I'm talking about it. And straight
So
up,
when are we gonna? So we
Yo,
need to freaking
no
hear like the
joke.
full story.
no joke, like this dude like we would be like, I want weed. And next thing you know, Uncle Rico would get on his phone and some fucking good boy and these are Italian guys from Brooklyn. And some fucking young kid shows up with a bunch of weed for us and just gives it to us. We were like, this
Like
is,
it wasn't even like a weed dealer situation. It
yo,
was just
this
given
was,
to you.
This was kind of like, he carried a gun.
It was like mafia Postmates, just bringing you your weed, dude.
Dude, he carried a gun. And he would fucking, but with Julio wants that fat baby.
This is Giulio Gallerati, by the way, episode 7. Shout out G. You can check out his episode 7.
He married me twice.
He did.
But,
he was the officiant.
But straight up, no joke. He one day G was like, "You get 100." I was like, "Yeah, I got 100. You got 100." And
You got less.
Pete, you got one. You got one. And then fucking and then he's like, "Did Uncle Rico put it in your back pocket?" I was like, "Fuck no."
Oh my god!
Slap on the tush.
Wait, why would he even start that conversation if he got 100? He was like, "Wait, by the way, did you get it put in your back pocket?" Like, if everyone got the same amount, I feel like, dude, you don't need to like mention anything.
Figure out how you
that.
got it.
You're like, what? Like, that's so irrelevant. Did he put it in your back pocket too? Like, what?
He wasn't trying to brag, but yeah.
He's like, did you hit you
But
real
no
hard,
joke.
too?
No, I mean, I wish he was here because me, Pete, and Julio have told this story on stage, and we said the real fucking name.
I need all 3 of you here. We need all 3 of you here mentioning the story.
This guy then wrote Julio like a 3-page essay telling him like, I know it's weird, like come down to my place in Daytona. Like he always tried to get us to go to Daytona.
In Daytona Beach, Florida. Well, we were talking about how much we love Miami. He's like, Ricky, you look like a guy who loves Miami.
Don't get me near Daytona. I don't want to fucking be by there. It was great, dude. This guy, straight up this guy. So he had like season passes for pretty much every New York team at the Garden.
How was this guy so hooked up?
Liberty, Rangers, Knicks,
dude, it
Fresh Globetrotters.
It was all like everything he did was like in cash, everything. Like even people at the Garden, like I saw him hang cash. Like it was weird. Like it had to be like if it wasn't mob, it was on like the verge of it. Like he knew people
for sure. Yeah.
I want to like so like it was like wild. Like it was really crazy. But at the same time, like drove around a fucking hoopty, but like drove through every red light ever. Like the guy was just a fucking maniac, and like
just didn't care, but was connected.
Yeah, man, it was definitely scary. It was definitely scary. It was wild.
So anything weird go down in the DMs? You know, I was talking about my DMs earlier, of course, PG, you know, as always. As that's how I keep it over here. That's how we keep it on Ted Jones World. Dude, tell us, anyone just come in really hot and really weird, maybe multiple times that like
if you have an Uncle Rico, tell us about your Uncle Rico.
What do you mean? I don't want to talk about my Uncle Rico in the DMs. I want to ask you, like on the other side, you know, like since like you become super hot, you know, like have you had anyone like approach you on Instagram in like a weird way that like you have maybe felt uncomfortable?
No, but there's
like
just
a weird DM that you got.
There's just certain famous people I'm very shocked at.
What do you mean by that?
Yeah.
I mean,
There's just like certain people I was just like, word, like you're on this app too. Like you're paying attention.
Right,
like it's weird. It's weird. I just think like, I don't know. I miss the old celebrity, the old of like the mystery of them.
Yeah. They were like a little quirky. You didn't know a lot about them.
You didn't know anything about them.
Yeah,
and it was just like, I think like, that's when I stopped fucking with Leonardo DiCaprio when he got an Instagram. I was
Dude,
like,
that guy
he was the king
has
of
the best IG, bro. He's trying to save the planet, which I appreciate. I don't know if he's vegan yet, bro, but I'm a big advocate for veganicy right now. Is that a new word? All right, we'll make
Are
it
you doing that?
Veganicy, yeah, bro. I mean, I'm eating just fish. You know, some pescatarian.
You're tripping, fam.
But
you know who's a fucking gangster at the end of the day? Alligators. Those dudes have been around forever.
They have been.
They can go to Mars.
What's the life expectancy of alligators? I'm about to. Don't worry, I got this little gadget here. That's a good question. Yeah, they haven't.
All reptiles, dude.
And
like
also,
snapping
like,
turtles and shit, they live for like 100 years.
Crocodiles and alligators both have long lifespans, Pat.
I'm sure they do. Yeah.
Who?
Well, I'm telling you that crocodiles and
I don't know if the
alligators-
lifespan's crazy, but they
You mean just like
fucking,
the species?
the species is fucking crazy. Like they have dinosaur in them. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
They look like it. Hold on one second. Alligator life expectancy. Okay, 35 to 50 years. Nice. Okay, wait. I'm gonna look at crocodile. But yes, as Ricky said, they've been around for a long ass time. So Ricky, obviously, as I said, we shouldn't talk about politics, and then he was like, "Should we start get politicking?" We got a little political, but whatever. At the same time, bro, you and I don't fucking know anything.
Nothing.
All right, so please don't take this too seriously. But bro, do you think that there was a point in time where you had made a decision between Donald Trump winning and Hillary Clinton winning?
Wait, are you asking me like, do I remember where I was when it happened?
No, I'm asking about at one point, did you support either one?
Oh, no.
You knew that they were both bad eggs?
I just sat in the middle the whole time. I voted, but I mean, I did not enjoy it.
Yeah, absolutely, bro. I honestly feel the same way just watching it. And in a situation like what we've been talking about, I really hope that Bloomberg takes it. And you think he has a chance? Or what?
I think
you hope that he has a chance.
I really hope Bloomberg has a chance, but at the same time, I don't think this country could have a Jewish man be president right now, and I think that's a fucking shame that it's like something like that, but I think that's the truth of the matter.
Unfortunate. As you know,
unless
I'm
he
Jewish.
comes out with some fucking dude, my wife's Jewish.
Right.
Like I have a good amount of friends that are Jewish. But I just like
the Jews.
I spend time in the South doing stand up. I see
it's
a lot.
Still bad down there? What do you mean? Like, what do you mean you've seen a lot? What are you talking about?
I've been called a Mexican on stage. I'm half Puerto Rican.
You think?
Don't even speak it.
You think? Well, I mean, Obama obviously was black. Do you think they were ready to elect a black president, but they wouldn't be ready to elect a Jewish president?
Yeah, there's a lot. What was? I forgot what the group was that had never done it before. It probably was African American. Was the first time they ever voted in that amount.
Right. Yeah.
And
What,
it's like
for Barack.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
So
you don't think the same would happen with?
I think Jewish people vote.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
at the same,
right.
at the same time, like, dude, we're winning. Like, we're in New York.
But do you think the non-Jewish vote, the Jewish people who didn't lean one way or the other, who didn't vote, do you think having that identity would bring them out to vote, or it's not strong enough in that as much as like an African American president would bring out non-voting African Americans?
I just think that also.
I don't know if Jewish communities are that big throughout the country.
Yeah, absolutely. Like
we're
0.2% of the entire world.
It's a point system.
Like,
it's not. Yeah. It's not about like.
We'll win a few states, right? We'll win California and we'll win New York. Oh, that's what I mean. That's usually what happens. California and New York usually go Democrat,
absolutely, yeah.
But just in terms of like Florida, like, a ton of Jews in Florida. My grandparents. Shout out my grandparents, was good.
But dude, straight up, there's been like fucking numerous hate crimes against the Jewish community in New York City recently, in the last like 2 weeks.
What's up with that, by the way, guys?
I don't know. People are
Who's doing that? Can you cut it out, everyone?
Don't
Literally
do that,
don't
dude.
fucking do that. Pat, play the shit.
Don't do that.
Leave the Jewish dudes alone.
Oh my God. I thought that was one too. I thought that was like literally a back and forth of that. I was like, why how'd you get Ricky to do that? He's like, texted Ricky before that. Got him to do a little ad
Send me a
lib.
sound clip, bro.
Oh, God. This is fun. So Ricky, tell me something else, man. We're chopping it up over here. This is a great freaking
You're gonna have a lot of editing in store for me.
Yeah, man. We got a lot of editing. A lot of editing going on, but a lot of work for the producers on the show. Beautiful
producers.
And,
I feel like there's a good amount of funny.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. It was
Dude, Uncle Rico.
Yes,
man.
producers. I do the title.
Yeah, okay.
Description. Uncle Rico.
Man.
Yeah.
Are you ready to go to war, dog?
What?
Are you ready to go to war?
Oh my God, we're so talking about war. Holy snakes.
By the way, I've been denied to the military, so I can't even go in a draft.
Why?
Because I had seizures when I was a kid, and they never figured out why.
Do you still?
No. But I have a spike in my brainwave, and that's why they didn't let me into the military when I tried to join. After college.
Damn.
Uh-huh. After the brief stint. Wait, so you were trying to go to the military?
I was trying to go to Coast Guard.
Navy.
Coast Guard.
So that's Army. Because you're on the
Coast
coast. Dude, I don't know.
It's its own branch, and they never go to war.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's fresh. Oh, but
And,
you
like,
didn't get in.
Dude, they
What?
went up and down the East
And
River.
like they're up and down the East River. Like I could have been fucking docked here. I could have been docked down in Miami. Like, dude, they have like some of the guys that like do that stuff. Like they're put in like 6. Like you can be like stuck in Hawaii for fucking 4 years.
That could be fresh, but at
Yeah.
the same time stressful.
But like at the same time, I was like on some shit where I was just like, yeah, let's live like that. Like, because dude, like I was like, I didn't have no money. My parents weren't fucking supporting me. Like, so I just was just like, let me jump into this.
What? How old are you at this time?
19 years old.
So this was like right before you started getting into comedy, kind of.
Yeah. It was, I started laying carpet after I didn't get into, well, I laid carpet my whole life because my dad did it. So I just knew how to do it. My dad used to bring us on the job all the time. So
And you just be helping them out.
like we had days off. We would just jump with dad. And
All right.
like, yeah, spent way too much time.
Well,
like,
but like, what I mean, in terms of like you're talking about like doing that on weekends or whatever. What was your childhood like for the most part?
they kept us very busy. But like at the same time, like, yeah, it was just very busy. Our parents like just kept us out of trouble. We weren't in the neighborhood a lot.
And is that because
I didn't even go to like elementary school in my neighborhood.
Is that because maybe they thought that like it wasn't the best to like?
My
grow up
so there was 2 like elementary schools, and like 109 was the bad one, and that's what I was zoned for. Like where I lived, all the kids that lived over there went there, and my mom had me moved over into another elementary school, like in the 3rd, 4th grade, and then I went to like the nicer high school, the nicer
Middle
junior
school?
high school.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then, but that kind of was not like none of the
So it
schools
was
that you went
fucked
to
up,
were
dude.
not
Like,
in your area.
I didn't know like all my friends were going to
To a
109,
different high school, right?
and the only time I really ever saw them was at church. Like I didn't hang out in the neighborhood. My parent, like, you got home at 3:00, you did your homework, and you were home. Like you didn't go back out really. in
Right,
my
you just
house.
have dinner at like 5:30,
Yeah.
and then like watch
it's
TV,
like,
and then
what-
kind of settle down.
So like I didn't hang in my neighborhood. Me and my brother were both robbed in my neighborhood pretty bad a few times. Like I'm not
Like mugged.
bad. I got the worst, I think.
What happened?
Remember when Nextels were hot?
Yeah, they had like the.
Yo, no, not even like past that. When you were able to put songs on that bitch.
What? That was like that was the
Bruh.
most advanced that I knew
Like,
of when
nah,
you could do the
they had these
merengue
silver
on
ones, dude, and we fucking had Dipset all over that shit. We were just like,
It's
Dipset.
Let's
Hey,
go.
yeah, no,
Hey.
just-
Oh my god, I might know what you're talking about.
Fresh Joel.
Anyway,
So
what
me
happened?
and my boys like had I didn't have one. I had all my boys had them. My mom fucking never let me run with the gang, so I fucking
Right.
went ahead.
Well, yes, good move.
So I fucking I had a Verizon, but it was silver. And every phone back then at that time was black. So I'm walking home and I'm on this silver phone and I'm walking past my zoned high school. And as I'm passing it, this kid is like, "Yo, run your cell phone." He goes, "Run your Nextel." That's what he said to me.
Run it. What? Like, just give it to him.
And it's like, "Yo, give it to me on my fucking."
Run
You're
with
being
it.
robbed at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Run your hat, run your shit.
Yeah.
Like it was just. So he's like, "Run your Nextel." I was like, "Ain't Nextel," and I kept moving. And next thing you know, I just got clocked in the side.
It was just him.
And then I thought I was fighting one-on-one.
Uh-huh.
So I turn around like ready because I kind of felt like this was coming. And I turn around like, all right, let him get that shot. And now let's fucking go.
Yeah.
And as I fucking go back at
Two
him,
dudes jump out of the
dude,
bushes.
Two, not even, like 4 to 5 kids. And fucking
Damn.
like stomped me out, broke my nose. I thought I had blackheads at one point in my nose, and when I squeezed it, I realized it was just dried blood that was stuck in the pores. It was fucking crazy.
This
And
was like how
and
old were you?
two
at this
black
time?
guys. At this point, I was in my high school, so I was like 17 years old, 16, 17 years old, and dude, just like fucking destroyed me to the point I thought like they thought some of the bones down here were broken, and the worst part about it was when he saw it wasn't a Nextel, one of the kid fucking, he took it and
Smashed it on the ground.
no, he threw it at me. So I got hit in the face with my own fucking Nextel. dude. Not even Nextel, Verizon,
Dude,
wireless.
that's
fucking-
so mean. Do we have
It
a
was terrible.
that's mean button over
No,
there,
don't.
Pat?
Sorry.
We'll
But
get
no,
one. That's
no
so
what was crazier
fucked
about
up.
that was my parents lost their fucking shit. And my mom always wanted to like do right. So like she was like, we're going down to the police station. We went down to the police station. I knew like I wasn't gonna get these kids.
Yeah.
Like that wasn't even an option. Like there
Wait,
wasn't
why? In
even-
terms of like snitching, or in terms of you
No, they
wouldn't
weren't
don't know
gonna
who
find
I
you
have to
were?
walk home every day.
My man, Ricky Velez,
Bernie has 3 houses.
bro. Bernie Sanders has 3 homes, so we need to
Dude,
look
that's
into that.
wild for what he asks. That's fucking insane. I'm sorry.
Don't be
I'm
sorry.
working on my first house, dog.
Don't be sorry.
Fuck you.
Ricky Velez, thank you so much for joining us, bro. Episode 20 of Ted Jones World Podcast. Thank you for listening. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube. Thank you for watching. This was a terrific episode. Pat, thank you so much for doing what you do, man.
Yeah, you're so welcome, man.
You're really a great
It's
dude.
really
I
a
really
pleasure.
appreciate
It's a
you.
pleasure.
Ricky no longer in the seat. Ted Jones World. And we're out. See you next week. Thank you.
Ted Jones, I also call him the 8th wonder of the real estate world.
Ted Jones.